Look at your hands right now, okay? Really look at them. These are the same hands that brushed your teeth this morning without thinking. The same hands that scrolled through your phone before you even opened your eyes. The same hands that, if you let them, could sign a completely different life into existence starting today. But here's the strange part. Most of us never look at our hands that way. We look at our bank account, we look at our reflection and sigh. We look at other people's lives and wonder why ours feels so heavy. But we rarely look at our own hands and ask, what have I been building with these day after day without even noticing? If you feel like you're drifting through your days, doing the same things, getting the same results, feeling that same tired weight in your chest the moment you wake up, I want you to hear this. You are not broken, you are not lazy, you are not failing at life. You are simply running on patterns that nobody ever sat you down and taught you to question, right? Okay, let's sit with that for a moment. Maybe you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, and an hour disappears before your feet even touch the floor. Maybe you speak to yourself in a voice so harsh, you would never use it on a stranger, let alone someone you love. Maybe you carry grudges like stones in your pockets, wondering why you feel so heavy when you walk. If any of this sounds familiar, you are not alone, and more importantly, none of this is permanent. The Buddha spoke often about something called astrisankara, asterisk. In simple English, this means the mental formations, the habits of mind, the patterns of thought and action that quietly shape everything we become. He taught that we are not fixed, frozen beings. We are not statues. We are rivers, constantly moving, constantly being reshaped by what flows into us, day after day, hour after hour, even when we are not paying attention. And here is the part most people miss. Small things, repeated, are not small at all. Repeated daily, they become the riverbed itself. They become the shape of your entire life. So today, let's walk through 10 habits, small, doable, almost invisible on any single day. But together, over time, they quietly rebuild that riverbed into something stronger, calmer, and more whole. This doesn't mean waking up at 4 a.m. and punishing yourself with some extreme routine you saw online. It simply means giving yourself even 10 quiet minutes before the noise of the world rushes in, before notifications, before messages, before someone else's opinion becomes the first voice you hear today. In that silence, before anything else enters, you meet yourself first. And that meeting matters more than people realize. The Buddha taught that the mind, left untrained, runs wild like a monkey swinging from branch to branch, grabbing at whatever passes by. But a mind given even a few still minutes each morning begins to settle. The way muddy water settles when you simply stop stirring it. You don't have to force calm. You just have to stop disturbing it. Okay? Think about this honestly for a second. If your closest friend made a mistake, would you say to them, "You're so stupid, you always mess everything up"? Of course not. You'd say something gentler, something like, "It's okay, you're learning, you'll figure it out." So why do we reserve our cruelest words for ourselves? The Buddha taught that the mind precedes all things, that our thoughts shape our world before our actions ever do. Words are seeds. Every time you tell yourself, "I'm worthless," you are planting that seed into your own soil. Every time you tell yourself, "I'm learning, I'm growing," you plant something else entirely. You don't control every event in your life, but you absolutely control the seeds you choose to plant in your own mind. Right? That is real power, even when it doesn't feel like it. We live in a world that worships busyness. 5 tabs open. 3 conversations happening at once. Eating lunch while scrolling, while half listening to a podcast. We call this productivity. But the mind that does 5 things badly is far more exhausted than the mind that does one thing fully. There is an old teaching about eating a single grape with your full attention, feeling its texture, tasting its sweetness completely, versus eating an entire bowl of grapes while distracted, tasting none of them. Which one actually nourishes you? The Buddha's teaching on mindfulness, asterisk sati asterisk, is exactly this. Paying full attention to one thing at a time, rather than scattering your awareness like seeds thrown into the wind, landing nowhere, growing nothing. The Buddha taught that asterisk kaya asterisk and asterisk kita asterisk, body and mind are not separate. They walk together. When your body is stiff, restless, and neglected, your mind often becomes the same way, tense, foggy, irritable. You don't need an hour at a gym. 10 minutes, a walk outside, some stretching on your bedroom floor. The point isn't fitness in the way the world sells it to you. The point is reminding your body that it is alive, that it is cared for, that it matters. A body that feels cared for sends a quiet signal to the mind. You are safe, you are okay, you can soften now. What do you consume? Videos, conversations, arguments, noise becomes the soil your thoughts grow in. If you spend your day consuming outrage, comparison, and fear, do not be surprised when your inner world feels like outrage, comparison, and fear. This isn't about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about asking, honestly, does this make my soil richer or does this poison it? The Buddha taught discernment, the ability to look clearly at what nourishes you versus what merely numbs you. Okay? Just start noticing that's enough for now, not big things, small ones. The tea was warm this morning. A stranger held the door. Someone smiled at you in a way that, for 1 second, made the day feel lighter. The mind has a strong gravity toward what is missing, what is wrong, what still needs fixing. This is natural. It once kept our ancestors alive, scanning for danger. But you are not in danger right now, are you? You are simply lying in bed, replaying worries that gain nothing from being replayed. Before sleep, gently turn the mind instead toward what already went right today, however small. You are not lying to yourself. You are simply choosing where to rest your attention before the day closes. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and waiting for someone else to suffer from it. The person who hurt you may not even remember the moment. Meanwhile, you carry it, replay it, feed it daily, and only one person pays the price for that, you. This doesn't mean forgiveness means staying in harm's way or pretending you weren't hurt. It means releasing the grip the memory has on your present moment. The Buddha taught that anger held too long burns the one holding it like a coal grasped tightly in the hand. The longer you hold it, the deeper the burn, and the other person never even feels the heat. Most arguments don't need an opinion. They need an ear. When someone is upset, often what they are truly asking for is to be heard, not corrected, not advised, not fixed. Yet our instinct is to jump in immediately with our own story, our own solution, our own perspective. Right speech, one of the Buddha's core teachings, isn't only about avoiding lies or cruelty. It's also about knowing when silence itself is the kindest, wisest form of speech. Sometimes the most generous thing you can offer another person is simply your full, quiet attention. Asterisk dana, asterisk generosity is one of the oldest Buddhist practices, not because giving makes you a good person to others, but because giving softens the grip of the self. When you constantly track who owes you what, who did more, who deserves more, your mind tightens around a tiny, anxious version of yourself. Giving freely, your time, your attention, a small kindness, without mentally filing it away as a debt someone now owes you, loosens that grip. It doesn't mean letting people take advantage of you. It means releasing the exhausting habit of emotional bookkeeping. Let thoughts pass like clouds. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just notice them drifting by. This is the hardest habit for most people, because silence forces us to finally hear what's actually happening inside. But here's the gentle truth. You don't need to solve every thought that arises. You simply need to watch it come and watch it go, the way you'd watch weather pass over a mountain. The mountain doesn't chase the storm. It simply remains, while the storm moves on by itself. Now, let me tell you a short story. There was once a farmer who complained constantly that his field gave him nothing but weeds year after year. He grew tired, bitter, convinced the land itself was cursed against him. One day, an old monk passed through the village and stopped at his fence. "Your field looks troubled," the monk said gently. "It's useless," the farmer snapped. "Nothing good ever grows here. Only weeds, no matter what I do." The monk looked out over the tangled, overgrown field and asked simply, "What did you plant?" The farmer paused. "Nothing," he admitted. "I was waiting for something good to grow on its own. I didn't want to waste seeds on land that might fail me anyway." The monk smiled, not unkindly, but with quiet understanding, and said, "The field does not choose what grows, my friend. It does not punish you, and it does not reward you. It only multiplies whatever you give it. Empty soil left alone does not stay empty. It fills itself with whatever drifts in, and usually that is weeds." The farmer sat with this for a long while after the monk left. The next season, instead of waiting, he began planting, carefully, deliberately, a little bit each day. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't instant, but slowly, season after season, his field began to change. That farmer is not so different from us. Our minds multiply whatever we plant into them: fear or calm, complaint or gratitude, resentment or forgiveness. Every single day, whether we notice it or not, we are planting something. The only real question is, are we planting on purpose, or are we simply letting whatever drifts by take root? So here is what you can do, starting today, not tomorrow, not someday when things calm down. Today, first pick just one of these 10 habits, not all 10 at once. That's how most people quietly give up by day 3. Choose the one habit that quietly tugged at you most as you listened. Practice only that one, gently, for the next 7 days. Just 7, nothing more. Second, tonight before you sleep, say out loud, even just whisper to yourself, "Today I planted underscore underscore underscore," and name one small thing you did well, however tiny it seems. Maybe it's, "Today I planted patience," or "Today I planted 10 minutes of stillness." Let it be small. Small is enough. Third, each morning this week, before your hand reaches for your phone, take 3 slow breaths and quietly ask yourself, what do I want this day to grow? You don't need a perfect answer. You just need to ask the question, because the asking itself begins to change you. You don't need to become a different person overnight. That pressure helps no one, and it's not how real change happens anyway. You only need to plant one small seed today and let that be enough for now. Just one. The river does not change its shape in a single day, but drop by drop, quietly, patiently, it carves stone. It reshapes mountains. It cuts canyons that stand for 10,000 years. You are the river. And the carving, gentle, slow, unstoppable, has already begun, whether you've noticed it yet or not. May you be healthy, happy, and free from suffering. Namo Buddhaya. Escape.